Is it good to be back on the internet, mate?
Yeah.
You're happy now, are you?
Mm.
That's how it's gonna be. Y'all wanna play. Okay then. I got my eye on you, Jay Quiller. Balake. Where is Balake at? No Balake here today. Yes, sir. My name is Blake. Are you out of your goddamn mind? Blake? What? Do you want to go to war, Balake? Because we could go to war. No. I'm for real. I'm for real. So you better check yourself. D-Nice. Is there a D-Nice? If one of y'all says some silly ass name, this whole class is gonna feel my wrath. Now, D-Nice.
You mean Denise?
Son of a bitch. You say your name right now.
Denise?
Say it right.
Denise.
Correctly.
Denise.
Right.
Denise.
Right.
D-Nice.
That's better. Thank you. Now, Aaron, where are you? Where is Aaron right now? No Aaron, huh? Well, you better be
Aaron.
sick, dead, or mute. Aaron. Here. Oh, yeah.
It's
Got
Aaron.
a transmit first time I said it. Huh? I'm just asking you. I said it like 4 times. So why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Are you watching this?
Just pronounce it, Aaron. Son of a bitch! You done messed up, Aaron! Now take your ass on down to Shaq Hennessy's office right now and tell him exactly what you did. Oh, Shaq Hennessy! Get out of my goddamn classroom before I break my foot off in your ass!
Are you watching this, mate?
No.
Supposed to be funny. What's this bit?
Oi! You okay?
has been brutal tonight, taking out some of the very best. There you go, Jesse. Well, this woman's so skilled, a pole vaulter in college, and now trains relentlessly at Aussie. See how big that jump was there for Jesse Graff? Only a handful of women have.
And now I shouted. From the highest hill. Even told the golden daffodil.
There you go. Next, that you don't like my apple. But I didn't think I didn't think I was
You alright? What's the matter, Mace?
Phone's stuck. Won't work.
Slow, is it, for you?
No, it won't work.
Why?
Because I'm trying to get an app off. Won't work. And it won't let me click on out. So. And I can't ring anyone. Can't put my password in. Can use my camera.
It's like this, it won't bloody keep moving sometimes.
Yeah, but this is different. Why don't you use that?
Huh?
Why don't you just scroll down with that?
What, will it work?
Yeah, it should do. Just have to click. Click.
Oh, that?
Um.
Yeah.
I need to get this sorted out now.
You can always go on this, can't you, Mace?
Mm.
Just have a quick look on there. It's a friggin' ages.
I don't think I feel. I can't even go on my phone now.
Bobby, what's his name? Liam Home. Oh, that's Gloria Jones, isn't it? Well, that's you're in touch with her. And you want to have a look on here? Being you're damaged. Don't go mucking out up there, will you?
No.
Catch her up with me out, legs and arms. Pull me up. And again. That's it. Bloody Nora. Grandad, yeah. No, I shouted from the highest hill. He even went and had some swill. At last my heart's an open door. How much have I got left on there on my phone, Mace?
Do you
How
mean?
much charge? It says up there.
90%.
Oh, that's alright.
What we having for tea?
I don't really know yet, Mace. It's a bit early to say. Mackerel?
Maybe.
Something good. Maria. I haven't been able to get on. I haven't been able to get on the internet with being back off the caravan. You see. That's. Oh, I've been crap. I've been badly for a bloody. You know my shoulder, what I did in Spain. It's never got any better. And I've got pains in the other arm now, and my feet. Yeah, I've been to doctors and they said you need physiotherapy and x-rays, so I'm waiting to go for an x-ray on Monday. Well, that's what I'm ringing for. We're going to go on plane now, Maria. I've booked a flight this week, so Rita won't go on her own. Yeah. Will you still take us some stuff across there? Oh, what, you're going on the what, the 27th? 29th? I'll bring you some stuff across before you go then. Alright. Well, we'll be there on the 2nd of June, a few days after. Maybe, oh, I don't know. I'm happy. How are you, alright? Carl, alright? Alright. No, no. I've, I've never had so much pain, Maria. Every night I can't bloody get to sleep on the night. It's like it goes right down my arm into my hand, right in the palm of my hand, the pain. Yeah. But saying that, I haven't stopped bloody working, you know, doing jobs. I've finished everything now. Today's the first day I'm going to rest properly, you know. But, like, none of the family's been round to bloody help me, you know. They should have been round to help me, really. But, Hello? Maria? Maria? And what are you looking at me like that for?
No,
Eh?
no, we're just joking. Was that Maria?
Yeah. Maria Romanelli,
Swablu.
Spanish. At last my heart's an open door, and my secret love is no secret anymore. I shouted. Telly for your belly on,
Grandad,
Squire.
what's in the fridge?
Not a lot.
What we're gonna have for tea then?
Oh, I've got stuff for teas and that. There's nothing in there, look. You've got your sam. Oh, noodles, anyone forgot some? Ugh, I'll have to get some from Aldi, won't I? But in here we've got mashed potato. What's that? Molly. Green beans. Mashed potato, green beans. In here we've got Richmond pork sausages, smoked fish, mackerel. Enough for today and tomorrow. We've got bread, we've got beans. Come here, you're making a mess all over the place. You don't have to just frame. Look, use your hand and just go like that, and it's done. Instead of making a mess all over. So we've got to keep it tidy in case anybody comes there.
No.
Like to nip to Aldi for some noodles.
Alright.
You like your noodles, don't you?
Mhm.
January, sick and tired to be hanging.
This week, battling to become Southwest champion, third-time competitor Dominic Chapman, who's determined this year to make it through.
It's all about Chelsea. One more win for the Premier League title. It is Albion who get the Friday night action started in a Hawthorns atmosphere that feels more like Stamford Bridge. Chelsea taking over this little part of the West Midlands tonight. It has been reported that some Chelsea supporters have paid thousands of... Oh! Albion fashioned the first chance of the game and forced a save from Courtois. Salomon Rondon very nearly silenced the Blue Hordes. Hazard.
Aiden.
Fabregas. He's gone for goal. He beat Foster with the strike, but he beat the post too. But it was there to be struck. Matic. Pedro. Moses. It's a super save by Ben Foster. Really smart reactions because that was fired through the legs of McLean. The goalkeeper cannot really have been expecting that. Fabregas. Pedro the target. Evans' header goes straight to Costa. Lovely chest down for Eden Hazard. Hazard's pullback, it was very nearly an own goal. Almost calamitous from West Bromwich Albion's men at the back. Here's Rondon. Rondon has Livermore and acres of space to the left. Livermore against David Luiz. Livermore plays it in. And that's Chadley, and it's wide. Mickey Batshuayi About to play in the Premier League for the 18th time. Every one of those as a substitute, just the one goal. It came at Watford on the 20th of August. It came 7 minutes after he took the field. William with the lifted ball in, Diego Costa. Moses battling. Brunt for Albion. Marcus Alonso up there, Gary Cahill the hit. And now Azpilicueta. And it's turned in by
Watch
Mickey
the manager.
Batshuayi.
Watch Chelsea's manager. And,
Chelsea have managed to
oh,
find
there
a way
he is.
through.
He goes balmy, their
It
manager.
is so close now.
Look at him.
The biggest Chelsea celebration of the season. Chris Brunt couldn't stop Cesar Azpilicueta from keeping the ball moving. A hopeful turn into the middle. And Mickey Batshuayi, a bit part player for Chelsea all season, might just have scored the goal that wins them the Premier League. Blue is the colour of the Premier League winners again. A more familiar name again, as Chelsea win it for the 5th time. And an Italian who's masterminded things again. All hail Antonio Conte. 3 seasons, 3 titles with Juventus, 1-1 with Chelsea. Mr. 100%. Chelsea champions with 2 games to spare.
Well, Antonio, how important was it to do it tonight?
It was important. It was important because when you have the possibility to kill the league and to win, you must do this. And for my players, I did a great job. They showed me great professional and they showed me great commitment, great work rate. It wasn't easy, honestly, because we started the season with a lot of problems. But I think that in the problems we found the right way to be stronger.
It feels amazing. It feels a special moment. We spoke before we went out and said there's opportunities in football that you need to grab with both hands. We felt we had to do that today. You can hear the celebrations now. I can't wait to go back in the changing room. I thought we deserved it, you know. Over the course of the season, consistently, people have had the Spurs, teams have had the Spurs, but we've worked very hard and I think we've been a better team.
There's something about this trophy that I know it's special because there is 6 teams easily that can win this league. It's the most competitive, the most difficult to win probably, and to be able to do it 2
Go
times
check the
in 2
charges
years
plugged in.
at Chelsea is
It's
fantastic.
come out, look here.
You celebrated with the fans. Do
Oh,
you
yeah?
feel like a Chelsea fan?
We're on the wrong side.
Yeah, after a strong season like this, and I repeat, it wasn't easy this season. I think it's right to celebrate.
At one point,
Look, force
I really
out.
thought
Man, let me do it.
our night,
I don't like
we
you
had our
touching
chances.
things. You're a bit rough, mate, aren't you?
But football is fantastic.
You can't say it now.
Yeah,
the
football is fantastic when you win.
Ivan Gascoigne, Guy Mober asking the questions, and this was the Chelsea dressing room afterwards. Understandably delighted after a long but a brilliant season. We'll look back on that season overall in a moment, but let's deal with the
Take a
game
while
first of
now,
all last
mate.
night, because
In fact, you
we all
might
knew,
have
I'm
to turn
sure
it on and
Antonio
off
Conte, the Chelsea
sometime.
players knew that going to West Brom,
Just
Tony
leave
Pulis
it
always
for
makes
it to come
and they
on.
did, and they really restricted
Play with your phone
the
for a
space that
bit.
the likes
I
of
can't.
Antonio and Pedro operated throughout the game, didn't they?
Well, the other thing as well from the players' point of view, it's a professional thing, and everybody in the country is watching the game thinking, you know, Chelsea are going to go there and win. You've got a West Brom player going over my dead body, by the way, so you're going to make it extremely difficult. A la Tony Pulis, as you rightly say.
Don't
And they
be
did.
impatient.
When you look at them, a lot of times they had like
You
this
said turn it off and turn it on.
Go and unloosen it all, the wire.
You can just see the player.
Again.
There's almost so obviously, Dan,
Don't
it's
stuck
extremely
under there,
difficult
that.
for Chelsea to break them down, but they would have expected that, wouldn't they, Martin?
I ain't going to shut you up there in
It's
that.
one of those, that's
Yeah.
always the challenge. Whenever, I mean, they are so much better than everybody else in the Premier League. West Brom, we know, are difficult. Tony Pulis playing that system. But this is what
It's gonna
it's
take
all about
ages, you
Conte,
don't
those
know,
changes
know
that he
that's
makes.
come
And
out.
Turn it on and off
players,
then.
every player's playing a major part. Batshuayi then getting the all-important goal, but it was down to numbers.
Which was
It's
what
just
I
flooded
was going to
people
do.
forward. Williams providing the cross, it's a ball into the box. It's a scrappy It's a scrappy goal to score, but it's down to the numbers. Look, this is Azpilicueta here. He's playing centre half, and the other centre half, Cahill, has a shot. It's lucky. He's got skids off him.
Beautiful pass, Martin.
Yeah, beautiful pass.
Culture.
And then Azpilicueta then gets on the end of it, and it's a tap-in. And fair play to him, because it's hard when you're out of the side, but Conte has been immense.
Batshuayi, Laura, really, is a perfect example, isn't it, of having that squad to win the title, because he hasn't played much, no starts this season.
Well, not only that. I mean, when he came on and subbing a couple of times, you remember when Costa was unavailable, and we're all thinking, oh well, he just bring Batshuayi instead of Costa. He didn't even play him down. It's almost like me saying to him, I don't think you're good enough.
This is the first game.
They all played the part. I mean, he was obviously involved with the header, so they've all played the part. I mean, they've used minimum amount of players.
This is game 2 against Watford.
Yeah, and you know that's the reaction when people like Batshuayi come in. That's exactly Willian sometimes. He left Matic out on a couple of occasions. So that's the reaction that you have to have if you're going to win the league. Fabregas
coming off the bench, 10 assists. It's 24 times that he's taken Hazard off the pitch. He's done his job. Let's take him off and let's put the tactics in to win the match.
Very, very interesting, because nobody spat the dummy out for Chelsea this year in terms of the players had a hissy fit when they weren't playing.
Just leave it now.
Different a year ago.
Well,
We'll have
is that what you do?
Comparison in a moment. It's a nice tweet from Batshuayi as well last night, saying God loves unexpected heroes. And he's done incredibly well to come on in that situation after a difficult season. So seals the deal. So a great week for Chelsea, and it comes at the end of an extraordinary season under Antonio Conte. This is a reminder of how it was won.
Chelsea producing football of the highest quality.
There are individuals all over that team who are taking responsibility.
They're relentless. I can't see a weakness.
Got a great will to win and a will to be champion.
There are days in the late winter, the early spring, when you see champions in the making.
That's short from Cahill. Alexis Sanchez against
Alexis.
Colchester 1-0.
Boom!
That's the job. Emery Walcott. Sensational Arsenal goal. It's 3. The club that have dished out 1 or 2 nightmares in recent years.
Conte, you.
But the boot is unstructured today.
Just leave it, mate.
And in my mind,
Don't go touching things, pressing buttons left, right. It'll come on when it's ready.
I need to log in to your account on your laptop.
If you lose like you lose against Arsenal and you need to change something, anything you do is always better than it was. And he did that, and then also they won. On the moment that you win, all of a sudden...
Watch this way here, you don't knock it out again or else you're going to have the same problem.
Lovely ball in and Hazard here. Oh, great goal. Wonderful goal by Eden Hazard.
After Arsenal, we changed the system, we changed everything, and now it's much better. I don't want, to be like Messi or Ronaldo. I just want to be me and try to be the best.
We've seen them.
But somebody spilled coffee all over the register.
Coffee.
And burnt it out. We can't afford to fix it.
Ashley, what does this say? Oh, focaccia bread. Ruben, cut me 2 focaccias.
Costa. Oh, he's still there, Costa. Oh, it's a goal! Diego Costa. And that surely has secured the 13th consecutive win.
The major story today in the papers is all about this man, Diego Costa.
Having made his name.
A hectic second, just didn't see it. Okay, 2 to go.
Okay.
To happy customers.
Just kind of sigh.
What's wrong with that?
They said the shrimp is no good.
What is that?
Olive white wine.
What?
The cross, Diego Costa. It just had to be him.
Diego.
As they said, was heading to China.
I see him every day, and I see his commitment. his behaviors, is very involved in the team, and yeah, I think he loves this club.
Chelsea fans rise to Eden into the box. Brilliant! A title-winning display by Chelsea.
The most important things for me is to build a team. Every single player must put their talent into the team.
The manager just brought the whole team together, and great to him. You have to push for it. I mean, not every day you can become a Premier League champion. I know that for a fact.
Pedro could strike. Oh, what a fantastic goal by Pedro! And it's turned in by Mickey Batshuayi. Chelsea win it for the 5th time. All hail Antonio Conte.
It was just a matter of time, but it came quick. But this is the first year. Wait, but he done well.
He's right. So pre-match meals of nuts, bottles of Prosecco for everyone at the club, attention to detail, we'll talk about tactical nous, dropping Costa you mentioned, when he could have unsettled things. Whatever angle you look at it, Martin, Conte's had a huge impact on the club, hasn't he?
He has, and at the start of the season he was playing a back four, and I feel that he doesn't really necessarily understand that role as well as the back three. And it was almost at half-time, David Luiz comes on against Arsenal in September.
David.
He changed it to a 3 and everyone thought he must have gone mad. But from then on, it was a 13-game run they went on. They've been magnificent. He understands the role of every player, and he's relentless. At Juve, he went on beating a whole season. 2 more wins, and they'll be 30 for the season, which is quite remarkable. Maybe next season they could go unbeaten. That's really, this guy will just keep pushing the bar. He inherited a squad of players which were fallen out of love with the game almost, and certainly with Mourinho. And look what they've done ever since. They've been a class apart.
They have had a very settled side as well. And some of their detractors will say, well, they've not been in Europe, so they've been able to do that. But if you look at the number of changes he's made compared to some of the other sides in the top 6, I think it's 38 changes to that starting lineup for Chelsea. I mean, Manchester City, 112 at the other end of things.
Well, it's one of those things. I always believe that you know, what's the team this week? Pick your best team. As nearly every single, if you're trying to win the very best leagues, you can't mess around with your team that much. You really seriously can't. Because Martin said that they found a way to play. Look, if you'd said at the start of the season when we sat here with the first programme that Victor Moses will be outstanding playing for Chelsea and win the Premier League medal, you'd have gone, see you later. You would, wouldn't you? Because you'd have got there's absolutely no chance.
Particularly at right wing back. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say at right wing back. So you can see how well he's done with all of them.
There's been a lot of analysis about the back three, and you're right to touch on that. And he said in his post-match press conference after that Arsenal game, we only are a good team on paper. It's time to be a good team on the pitch. And I know what you like is that attention to detail. He talked about the fact that he's brought Hazard off 24 times this season, that Fabregas has been good from the bench. He's in fact, Martin, he's the only manager who's used all 3 substitutes in every game in the Premier League.
Definitely. I mean, they say football is a numbers game, and he definitely gets the maximum from every player. It makes you feel a part of the squad. Use the substitutes, but he uses them to win matches. And we're looking at Alonso. Pedro's unrecognisable from last season. Hazard now has come in and done well again. There's so much possibilities with the system that they play, and he'll be the first manager to win, basically. I can't remember anyone else winning with a back three. It's quite unique.
You talked about the 13 games on the trot, and part of that, in December, were those 1-0 wins back-to-back. And that's the steal of champions, isn't it, Laura?
That's, over the course of the season, when you look back, we've both been fortunate to be in a position. These are the games that when you maybe don't play particularly well. That was very later, I think, obviously at home against West Brom. This was away at Sunderland, and Martin mentioned about Fabregas coming in and out of the team. This was Crystal Palace, and I was there, and they were distinctly ordinary Chelsea, but managed to win, Dan. And I think that's the difference, as Martin's saying about you bring the subs on and you manage to win the game. They managed to win the games when they weren't playing well.
Very quickly, there'll be people shouting at the telly this morning, largely Spurs fans, I think, saying, hold on a minute, they've not played in Europe, they've played 6 games fewer than Spurs, they've been very fortunate with injuries, and this is the same side that downed tools last season and finished 10th. So can you understand the frustration from others?
I can. Pochettino, the Spurs players don't have to reproach themselves at all. They've been the only team capable of taking them on and went out of the cup as well. But it will have to go for another year because it's certainly not going to do this. Chelsea have been
Doesn't matter.
so good.
Doesn't matter what
Best team for you.
But the best team have won the league.
Okay, one more game to round up for you from last night. All the talk before Everton's game against Watford. surrounded the fury of Ross Barkley, with manager Ronald Koeman giving the 23-year-old a week to sign a new contract or he'd be sold, and he scored the only goal. We'll see it again for you. I think it was the only one at Goodison Park. There it is, and he was given a standing ovation eventually when he was substituted by Ronald Koeman with 10 minutes to go. And after the game, Koeman reiterated his demands for the England international to quickly commit his future to the club.
Everybody knows the qualities of the player, and okay, it's not up to the club, it's not up to the manager, it's up to the player, and still we hope that he will sign that contract. If not, okay, then he will search for another place.
But you'd like the opportunity to make him a focal part of your team again next season to move Everton on?
Yes, because we offer Ross a really good contract, and okay, and then you need to sign it or you don't sign it.
It's unusual, isn't it, to conduct things so publicly?
I think it's good. He might disagree with it, but I think they're saying to him, there's your contract. What are you doing?
It's up to you.
You know, as a manager of the club, I need to try and move this thing forward, but I need to know, are you with us or are you leaving? It's a really simple question.
No,
It comes a part where it's not about personalities. It's actually about the business side of football, which is massive now.
Well, listen, this is the manager Koeman himself left Southampton very quickly, but he needs to know which direction they're going in this season. And Barkley really is a top player now. He needs to sign him.
If he goes, where would he go? If he doesn't stay.
I've no idea. He could come to Preston if he wants. I don't mind.
I think that's probably unlikely.
Well, they're talking about Spurs,
Tottenham, aren't they?
and that can be the only place that he's going to, but he needs to make a decision quickly.
Okay, well, on to the rest of the weekend's football for you. Here are the fixtures. A real whopper at Selhurst Park tomorrow. Discuss that for you shortly. We'll also be live to Sunderland as Swansea head to the North East. But time now to talk about the race for the final Champions League places, starting at the Etihad, where Manchester City and Leicester contest the early game. We're bringing the team news on this one as well. Actually, the first time, talking about team changes, the first time Pep Guardiola was named an unchanged side in the Premier League. Aguero back on the bench after injury. 2 changes for Leicester as Chilwell starts at left back and King replaces the injured Drinkwater. Fuchs is set to play in central defence in the absence of Huth as well. When you look at Manchester City, I mean, they look pretty good to finish in the top 4. Are you surprised that they haven't challenged for the title this season, the pair of you?
Lack of consistency. You know, you saw the changes that they've made there. Guardiola doesn't know his formation. He doesn't know the players that he wants to use. I feel though that he's less pragmatic in his management, and he's very more artistic in the way he wants. And it's going to take longer, and they are starting to purr a little bit now. And so next year, I expect them to be major challengers. They'll spend big in the summer, and they'll really take Chelsea on. But they've been really disappointing this year.
Forwards win you the league, defenders win you the championship, and that was the problem. He messed around with the defence from so many different occasions. Was it 3? Was it 4? Personnel had changed. I think since Christmas they've done really, really well. But I am surprised they are where they are. I thought he would have been better. I think he's made lots of mistakes, but I think he knows that.
Okay, well, we'll see what Manchester City do over the summer and next season as well. Arsenal kept their hopes for top 4 place alive with a 2-0 win over Southampton. If you've not seen this turn from Alexis Sanchez, have a look. He became only the 5th Arsenal player, hold on, goodbye, to reach 20 Premier League goals with this effort. And that was 1-0, and Giroud was the man who made sure of the victory late on. Again, Sanchez involved with the ball across to Ramsey to find Giroud, and that's Giroud's 14th goal of the season. Martin, if Arsenal finish top 4 and win the FA Cup, is that a good season?
Yeah, not bad, but I think the Arsenal fans are just getting a little bit fed up with that. They want to have true champions, you know, as a club again, and that is really the goal for Arsene Wenger. There's so much speculation now going on around the club. Is Arsene Wenger going to stay? Are the top players staying? The important thing is that Sanchez and Ozil do well while they're at the club, and Sanchez has turned up again now and started to perform, but for too long this season they haven't done that.
Well, let's have a look at those two, because you know we talk a lot about them and the role they play, the way they bring other players in. They have been crucial to all the good stuff Arsenal have done this season, haven't they?
Yeah, a lot of the time. I mean, I feel this new system now doesn't really help Ozil. A lot of people criticising him. Is he going through the motions? But this fella Sanchez, I mean, you can't dispute that they're pivotal at the moment to that creativity that Arsene Wenger needs in this Arsenal team, and it would be a backward step to lose them. But if he's overindulged these players and they've almost all acted almost in a spoilt manner, then it's time to cut loose. Decisions have to be made with these players.
But if you look at Arsenal, say what discuss Arsenal this season, you'd say more questions than answers. What's happening to Ozil? What's happening to Sanchez? And most of all, what's happening to the manager? Nobody knows.
Yeah, it makes Liverpool's game this weekend as well really interesting, doesn't it? It's so tight, that top four.
I think Liverpool need to win both games to guarantee fourth, because I just have a feeling that Arsenal will win all three of those, including Stoke away, which is difficult.
It's not been a good game, Stoke, for Arsenal. So yeah, if they can win that one, I think Arsenal will fancy it.
If I asked you to name a team then to get that fourth spot, would you go Arsenal?
Not at the moment. They're not in the boss seat. Man City are. It's out of Arsenal's hands really at the moment.
Liverpool. Okay, I think that's clear. Thank you very much for that, gentlemen. Well, with Middlesbrough joining Sunderland in the Championship following that defeat to Chelsea on Monday night, tomorrow's game between Crystal Palace and Hull will go a long way to deciding who fills the final relegation spot. Now, Palace need just 1 point to secure Premier League survival. Ivan Gaskell has been going to see if Big Sam has a plan.
Crystal Palace look muddled at the heart of their defence. A miserable afternoon for Crystal Palace.
Sam, a huge match this weekend against your rivals Hull. How are you sleeping?
A little uneasier than I'd like, because I think that we've just lost the principles of why we'd clawed our way out of such a difficult position on the basis that, our defensive mentality was so good that we actually pulled off some fantastic results against the top 5-6 teams that wasn't expected, because we defensively were so sound. And I think that we've lost that resilience and maybe a little bit of complacency, but certainly the injury process has caused us these problems for me. So you put the both together, then of course the results have slipped away to 3 defeats on the trot, no goals, and back into a nervous disposition going into the last 2 games. And the only thing I can say to the players is you've worked so hard, lads, to put your own destiny in your own hands, which it still is. Make sure you get it right on Sunday.
This club had an FA Cup final roughly this time last year. How does this situation and this game compare?
Much bigger, much bigger. I think that the whole future of the football club, in terms of how it's going to progress, is dependent on the next 2 games and getting safe. And if it doesn't, then it falls into cutbacks, it falls into redundancy, falls into cutting across the board at every level, and then fighting to a 46-game season in the Championship to try and get back. And if you look at the record of teams bouncing back, it's not very good.
Give us a picture, take us inside the dressing room if you can, in the hour before kick-off come Sunday.
I won't be there. Most of the staff won't be there. We'll have done our work before we get there. I don't want to like all this screaming and shouting in the dressing room. Never liked as a player. We don't need all that. Do the warm-up as normal and then get the players ready. Then there'll be the odd visit to the toilet by 3 or 4 of them, I think. A bit more maybe than normal.
What about you?
And no, I won't be too bad, I don't think. This week planning the team, getting it ready to play, and then the decisions I make while the game is going on to try and help the team over the line will be critical. So for me to use that experience on whether it's a tinker with the system or a substitution, hopefully I don't need to do too much. Hopefully the players will do it for me. But if I need to do it, I'll be brave enough to do it.
You were once relegated with Notts
Big
County
Sam.
way back when. You've never been relegated from the top flight though, so how personally would you take it if that were to happen now?
It's more important about the club at first and foremost before about yourself, but obviously when you've been doing it as long as I have, you don't want to blemish on your record, and as tough as these jobs are, and as many people have said, one day, Sam, you'll take on too much, and it can't be this time. Whatever happens on Sunday, we still have Man United away. So there's still a chance if it goes all horribly wrong on Sunday, but I'm betting the players won't allow that to happen.
has been in this sort of position before. You can see there, Fireman Sam has often saved a side in this perilous position. But do you think Palace have sort of been on the beach for a bit? Did they think they were safe, do you think, the players?
I'd be surprised with Sam in charge, to be honest with you, because as you rightly say, he's been there before.
What's gone wrong then? Because he's not scored a goal in 3 games.
Defensive, but also defensively, they started to. You know, the thing about Big Sam is he goes into clubs. When he went into Sunderland, everybody thought straight away he'd won all sorts of games. They didn't they? They really struggled. Same as Palace as well. And then he started to get them on the road, started scoring. Sacco came on loan, did extremely well. But at the moment, Dan, they just look like they're going to concede in every game. But if you only need a point at home against Hull.
I was at the Burnley match, which they needed to win, and there was a lot of nerves around the place. Their home record's not great at all.
This is Burnley, isn't it?
And this is like 2 breakaway goals there right at the end. And there was question marks. When you lose, what was it, 5-0 at City, then the question marks come in. And there's huge pressure in this game tomorrow against Hull. I mean, it's almost winner takes all, really, for me on that.
Sam was saying that he won't go and do a sort of rah-rah. I wouldn't say rah-rah, but he won't go to the dressing room beforehand and sort of bang heads together.
You shouldn't need to beforehand.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, I suppose
that's your prep.
That's sort of old school. So the preparation is done during the week.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And if anything, you kind of you leave. You go in obviously an hour before and you talk to the players and right, this is the way we are, and you can get on with it. But you leave them to their own thoughts and let them go and warm up, etc. I think the most important thing is for a manager, have you got the prep right? If you haven't, you've got 15 minutes at half time to change it, and then throughout the second half, if you make your substitutions.
1 point they need, Martin. 1 point.
Yeah, Palace need to be brave. It's in their hands. Go and do it. Don't be frightened of it. You know, it can't be any better, can you? You're in the same room with the team that can take it all away from you, Hull. But if it goes wrong for them, it then goes to another game. And of course, even then, Palace play Manchester United, a weakened Man United, away.
Because of the Europa League.
That's
which could
right.
be interesting for other sides as well.
Yeah.
If Palace go there.
The other thing today is, Dan, what do Hull do? They really need to win, don't they?
Of course they do.
Well, we'll talk about. It's like you've been reading.
I read the script just before for once.
Yeah, you've done that very nicely. Well, talking of Hull, Mark, victory for Palace.
This programme's been
Hull, who need to bounce back from defeat to Sunderland last week. Damien Johnson has caught up with their keeper, the man in orange.
Hollywood.
Brilliant save by Jakubovic. Brilliantly saved.
Your laptop's proper slow.
Yeah, I know. Have patience with it, mate.
Have you got Sunderland and
No,
that defeat last
it's
weekend
not
out of your
patience.
system?
And Dad. It's just slow.
Yeah, no. That's how it goes on
I
there.
cannot forget, especially this
I don't
game.
mean
This
like
game
that
was
one, Dad.
for us very important. We lost 2-0 and we have another chance
On the
to
game,
show
I'm trying
that
to play
this
it
was
slow.
only a bad day for us.
Did last weekend, the whole experience of it, dent your belief that Hull can stay up?
I'm very positive. I think
Hull
if we
City's
win both
goalie,
games, we're gonna have
Vukovic.
a good chance to stay.
Palace first, how do you view it?
A big
It
Sam.
is a massive game. I mean, for both teams. They have to win. We have to win. So, gonna be a good day. Good day, and hopefully, better for us.
You've had to wait patiently for your chance to become #1 here. What was that like?
The first 18 months, 2 years, wasn't easy for me.
Jakubovic, the third choice goalkeeper at Hull City, is coming on for
We
an
have
unexpected
got
appearance here.
Jakubovic. We have got
Chance gonna come, and
Jakubovic.
the gaffer
He
gonna
is
trust
such a
me.
bitch.
Do you appreciate it more because you've had such a difficult road to travel?
It's always easier if you have a normal, easy way. But these 5 years, as a person, I'm stronger now as well.
The fans here love you. You're a cult figure. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, a lot of people telling me that I'm just doing my job. Sometimes a little bit too crazy, but that's me. I like to celebrate with every goal, my saves, and sometimes I said to myself, I have to change this. I mean, when I'm watching in the evening the highlights, I go with my little daughter in another room, and my wife is still watching, and she's laughing, but yeah, it's fun, but you cannot change. Now we are here, we are 2 more games left, and I know what everybody said, we're gonna go down with 10 points, blah blah blah, and I know everybody wanna prove everybody was wrong.
Why can't you go out on your phone?
Working, look.
Why isn't it working?
Like, click it.
Why?
I don't know.
Are you been on something got a virus or something?
Well, I don't think it's a virus, I just can't click on
Last
out.
week, before they lost the game against Sunderland, they seem to be in a good position, great home record, and now it's completely switched round, isn't it?
Yeah, it was made even worse by the fact that Swansea beat Everton, didn't they? So I think you've got to be very, very careful when you go to Palace. And you don't want to let Palace score, do you? Then you're really starting to chase the game.
Can't even post my
I think
password in.
periods now. I think
I have to wait an hour for now.
Make sure you don't concede, and then as the game goes on, and you may be able to get a point and you want 3, then you've got to change
so
it.
much riding on it. It's about how you handle this tension and pressure. He looked like a player who was going into what's going to be the biggest game of his life. Everybody wants to be a part of this Premier League party, don't they? That's what you identify as you as a person.
But the whole thing about Hull is they just seriously messed up the start of the season. In terms of recruitment.
I want to ask you about it, because wouldn't that make it unbelievable if they stayed up? Considering
Fantastic
they had
achievement.
13 fit senior players. They sold Snodgrass, they sold Livermore, and yet they could still stay up.
So my answer is yes.
The players that he brought in, Grubicki.
Easy for you to say.
Yes, Niassi came in as well. I mean, Klukas never gets a mention. He's a fantastic player in there.
Yeah.
Harry Maguire.
I know you like Harry Maguire.
Ranocchia's another one.
Yeah, so one after another. But here's the Paul Clement and Nico Silva story, really. Both managers doing really well to get their teams in with a chance of staying up.
Okay, well, you talked about all those games. The third team in danger. You mentioned Swansea as well. Swansea still in danger of the drop. They jumped over Hull last weekend, of course, after that vital win against Everton at the Liberty Stadium. They're at Sunderland today. Steve Wilson is our man at the Stadium of Light. Good afternoon to you, Steve. A lovely gesture from the Swansea players this week as well. Not only paying for the travel of the fans, but also lunch vouchers too. So, do you know how many Swansea fans are travelling?
3,000 Swansea fans are coming here today, and all of their tickets have been paid for by the Swansea City players. It's going to cost those players around about £75,000. Each Swansea supporter also being given a lunch voucher, and £1 of those lunch vouchers is going to the Bradley's Fight Fund. Bradley Lowry will be here today, the young man who's captured everybody's hearts. That's the plan, though he is very unwell at the moment, and they're hoping he's going to be here today, but they are going to play that by ear. But it is a great gesture, and Leon Britton, Swansea stalwart, of course, over 2 spells, he was the inspiration behind raising that money to get the Swansea fans here. It was his idea, and he's been the man going around with the collecting kit.
Also be showing other Swansea players DVDs of why it's important for Swansea to stay in the Premier League.
Put your phones on there.
Talking about the importance of these games.
Put your earphones in.
From a Swansea point of view, they picked up some decent points in the last few games. How do you think Paul Clement will go?
Miss, put your earphones in.
Trying to get it off.
To win. I was at the game against Everton last week, and obviously then Hull played first, and he made the point that, you know, come what may,
Well done,
whatever
Grandad.
Hull did against Sunderland, and it obviously went their way, Swansea had to beat Everton. And he's approaching this in exactly the same way. Swansea played first today. Hull obviously play that big game at Palace tomorrow. He's approaching this game as a match that they have to win. Sunderland, of course, are relegated, and Paul Clement made the point after that Everton game. In a way, his players have had a warning shot because Sunderland won at Hull last week. They now know Sunderland are playing with a certain freedom that they haven't been able to for many weeks. So this is not a gimme for Swansea by any means, of course. And I do think if Swansea stay up, it would be a great achievement for Paul Clement. Almost unprecedented that a club would have 3 full-time managers in one season and actually stay in the Premier League.
Yeah, thanks for that, Steve. More from Steve on Final Score Matter Day a bit later on for you.
I tell you what, Dan, players get slaughtered for all sorts of things, but for 75 grand to pay for the supporters, I'm just trying to work out how big the collection bowl must have been, mine, for 75 big ones.
Significant, yeah. Leon Britton's a good man to sort that out, isn't he? Martin's actually going to be putting in a double shift today as well as Steve. He's casting his eye over the afternoon games on Final Score, alongside Jason Roberts. Alan Shearer and Ian Wright make up the pundit panel for Match of the Day tonight. The power of Eurovision, would you believe, pushes Match of the Day onto BBC Two at the earlier time of 10 past 10 as well. About 200 million expected to watch Eurovision tonight across the world, and a record crowd expected at the Women's FA Cup final at Wembley later today as well, where Steph Houghton will lead Manchester City out against Birmingham. The England captain has been talking this week to Sue Smith.
Steph, in terms of your career achievements, where does leading Man City out at Wembley rank?
You always dream of playing at Wembley, and you always dream of captaining your side, and ever since I've joined this club it's about trying to win the FA Cup, and we're one step closer to doing that, so yeah, definitely up there with the stuff that I've achieved so far.
What does it mean to the club to actually reach the FA Cup final?
I think this is the one that we've been trying to get ever since I've been here, and we've become so close to reaching the final. We've been knocked out in the semi-final the last 3 years, and it's disappointing because you get so close to being at Wembley, but now that was one of the focuses, was to trying to get to Wembley, and we finally did that, but now it's all about going that next step and getting our hands on the trophy.
Have you imagined yourself yet walking up the steps and getting your hands on that trophy again?
You do imagine it, because I know how much I love winning the FA Cup with Arsenal, but I've also been on the disappointing side of losing it with Leeds, and I know that it takes a good performance to win the FA Cup, so I've got to keep my feet on the floor and not think about that moment of lifting the trophy. But yeah, it does give you goosebumps when people mention it to you. You're going to walk up them famous Wembley steps and potentially win your first FA Cup with this club. It's exciting.
And it was Steph Houghton. She couldn't score again. Yes, she could. This is incredible. What an Olympic Games Steph Houghton's having. The Golden Girl.
You've obviously played at Wembley before, you've scored at Wembley. What will you be telling your teammates about playing at the National Stadium?
Look, you've got to enjoy it. I mean, there's not many opportunities and not many people that actually get a chance to play at Wembley, and we've got a massive opportunity to show how good we are as a team, and there's a trophy at the end of it, so I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because Birmingham are going to be a very tough side to play against, and it's their first FA Cup final at Wembley as well, so they'll be up for the whole occasion in the game as well, so we just got to keep our feet on the floor and do everything that we've done over the last 3 years.
Who are the players to watch at Man City? Apart from yourself, obviously.
I'm just a boring defender.
You scored some worthy free kicks.
I think obviously Carly Lloyd, without a doubt. She's won the Ballon d'Or, won the World Cup with USA, and a physical presence. And
there's nobody here to greet them. Come on, where are the girls? Not now. Ladies, where's Ashley?
To go. Foreign plated Red Bull into a free series.
With the cost.
That's cool.
I'm John, I'm 43 and I'm an ice.
Around about 40,000 expected there for the game today.
Yeah, it will be a record for the FA Cup. Wembley's always buzzing, isn't it, on a big occasion. You just got to walk out the tube station, look at Wembley Way, and it captivates the imagination, Sue. Whatever the final is, and this is special, it's so crucial for the women's game, it's at Wembley again.
Yeah, you're right, and I think the fact that the crowds are getting bigger and better every single year, I think it just shows the growth and the development of the women's game. And just as a young boy and girl growing up, your dream is to play in cup finals and to play at Wembley, and that's exactly what these girls are going to be doing, and I'm sure the atmosphere will be even better than last year.
She's been talking to them all outside. It's a wonder they get a word in edgeways, because it's very difficult, to be honest.
JP, in terms of the game as well, I mean, Manchester City come into this, they're overwhelming favourites, taking on a Birmingham side who they've already beaten in the Continental Cup this season as well.
Yes, but they drew 1-1 just a few days ago, not so long ago, and Birmingham played very well that day, Sue, and they've got good players in there. You know, Ellen White, who's joined them this season, she's playing in a full time. They've got Ada Hegerberg, who's the sister of, or Andrine Hegerberg, I should say, sister of Ada Hegerberg, the UEFA Player of the Year.
They've got some very good players, and I also think the route to the final's been really difficult. The fact they had to play Chelsea, they played Arsenal on the route, and the fact that they've drawn with them, like you mentioned in the spring series, they are undoubtedly underdogs, but I think they've got some very good players. I think now they've got a management system in place that has given them a real belief that they can go out and win any game, and I think that's so important to have that belief. And also they've recruited very well, like you mentioned. Obviously Ellen White is a key player for them going forward, but I think they're going to make it very difficult for Manchester City. They're going to be very solid at the back, and then you've got that quality going forward.
They don't score many goals at Birmingham City. Manchester City do, of course, and Manchester City have got the superstars. I think if Manchester City play at their best, it will be very difficult for Birmingham.
Thank you very much for that. All that to look forward to later, and as guys were saying as well, best player in the world in Carly Lloyd on display as well. Live coverage in Wembley this evening, BBC 2 from 5 o'clock. And Wembley will be the temporary home for Tottenham next season. Spurs play their final game at White Hart Lane against Manchester United tomorrow. Their final game after 118 years of calling that place home. Garth Crooks has been taking a look back for us.
They're the finest team in Great Britain and one of the best in the world.
It was underneath this lamppost in the Tottenham High Road that in September 1882, a group of young members of the Hotspur Cricket Club met to form a football section. Looking for a dash of style, forsook the familiar town, United or City, and called themselves Tottenham Hotspur.
There's so many great players who've played here at White Hart Lane. Greaves, Gilsey, Klinsmann, Hoddle. But it was Danny Blanchflower who said the game is about glory.
We've got to keep to this tradition of being a really good footballing outfit.
There's no one who epitomises Tottenham Hotspur Football Club better than this man. Bill Nicholson won the league as a player in 1951 and the League and Cup double as a manager in 61. This
Oh no.
This is where I
My mum's texted me and I can't text her.
Amazing memories. I remember the first time I actually put on a Tottenham Hotspur shirt and thinking that I joined something
Do you have your phone?
special. It was all about
So we're on Messenger.
Like Tottenham, they expect you to win all the time.
The shelf was very special, and I was always envious of Steve Archibald because they had this wonderful chant. I'm looking forward this weekend to them singing that song again. Just to hear that, that'll do for me. Archibald scores his 22nd of the season. Some of the greatest managers in Tottenham Hotspur's history have sat in this seat. Bill Nicholson, Keith Birkinshaw, Terry Venables, Harry Redknapp, and of course, Mauricio Pochettino. And this wonderful old stadium had so many of those European glory nights. I was in this seat when Tony Parks made that save. There have been some fantastic goals scored here.
Bale! He's done it again! Giants! Oh, one goal!
This is opening up for him.
Imagine being a fan here and watching some of the players who grace this pitch. White Hart Lane will always be the home of Tottenham Hotspur, but the club can't sit in the past. Spurs will go marching on.
That goal from Hoddle is just brilliant, isn't it? Thanks to Garth for doing that. It was wonderful. I'm
Yeah.
sure you two must have some fond memories of the place, even though you're an Arsenal fan. Well, a former Arsenal player, Martin.
Well, I lived in Diggs, just across the road from me, the ground, and my landlord was a massive fan of Tottenham. Ran me down.
Mum?
Hello?
Mum?
What?
I can't text you off my phone.
Why?
Something's gone wrong with it.
Pardon?
Something's gone wrong with it.
What do you mean something's gone wrong with it?
Like, I can only click on a certain place, so I can't type my password in. I can't, like, do out on it.
So you can't do anything on it, so you must have dropped it or something, Mason.
I haven't dropped it because it says live at the top. It's downloading an app or something.
It says what? Mason, I can't hear you. says what?
Speak up.
It says live at the top, and it's downloaded an app or something.
So you've gone on, do you know it? So I keep telling you about these games that you keep going on, don't I? And you don't listen to a word I say.
No, I don't.
I bet you've got, do you know if there's a virus on that? It'll boost it.
It opens the door. It really doesn't feel like a home game.
I
All
need.
these fucking YouTube shit you go on.
I haven't been on YouTube.
They've had practice this year in the Champions League and it hasn't looked good for them. But somehow they've got to turn that into their home.
So what, have you tried switching it on and off?
I can't, can I? Bun.
Why?
And you can't turn it off unless you've got the password in. So.
So you can't turn it off with that down button?
No.
No, you can't turn it off with the side button?
No.
Have you tried pressing it real hard? I bet you are, can.
Ma'am. But the thing is, you have to put the password in to turn it off. And
no, I can turn mine off.
And I've tried password thingy. I've tried putting the password in, and it's locked it for an hour.
It's locked it for an hour?
Yeah.
Quite possibly win 2 competitions, so he's had a good season. It's just.
So what you been going on?
Now.
You're a man. Tell her what you're
I'm
on.
on my granddad's laptop.
On the, what, are you at the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for God's sake. That's all I need, isn't it?
You'll be alright. From the Champions League, we're talking about that throughout the season, really.
I can't think what else, because you can't remove the battery or anything from a Mason. I swear to God, once this is fixed, I do not want you joining to any stupid videos and all these people that do them.
Joining?
Where did this rule come from?
Yeah, just subscribing or whatever it is you do.
Oh yeah. Why that's not gonna do now, is it?
Of course it does.
Was there a click point?
You're subscribing to people that don't even know you.
Oh, no.
Weren't you playing on it and talking to somebody early on?
No.
Who was that? Who was talking to you? Somebody was talking to you.
It was Harris who was live streaming on YouTube. And I've subscribed to Harris, ma'am.
But you don't even know what he does.
But I do though.
It's different. It's very un-championship-like, but it's great to play.
I just hope it don't put out on my phone because we've got the same account, so it better not do.
Quite open.
What?
My phone's been real weird. The touch has been coming on and everything. Switching to my camera.
Is that on the lock screen?
Is no. Has your granddad ever done the window?
No.
No.
No. They said how much it's going to cost you or out yet?
No.
No.
Yeah, he's got a presence, I think, when he walks in the room. Yeah, he's got a presence. He's got that face that Stone Cold fits to sometimes. You think, what's he thinking? But he's been brilliant since he came in. He made me captain, which is something. I think the type of player I am in Championship is quite rare, so I'll try to repay him the faith he's shown in the performance.
We'll have another go.